Hello, Empress Justice here. If you'd like to check out my daily readings, you can check them out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, be sure to check out my June 2022 readings in 2 parts on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. You can also check out the latest reading that I've done, which is Full Moon in Jeshta in Scorpio, which is on YouTube right now. So you can go ahead and check that out as well on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. Now, I came online today to talk about another targeted individual named Daniel Boden from Somerset County in Pennsylvania. Now, he was known as the Mountain Man, and apparently he meant a lot to a lot of local people. Stephen Keith Howard of Vomit.com, which is an acronym for Victims of Microwave Intense Torture, he posted the news about Daniel on the 7th of June. At the time he posted about Daniel's death, nothing was really known about what part of his body shut down to cause his death, because his daughter, Danielle Boden, contributed to the discussion. His daughter, Danielle, contributed to the discussion and said, I hope you guys can hear me. His daughter Danielle contributed to the discussion. Danielle Marie Boden. She said that they don't know the cause of his death without an autopsy. And at the time, she was trying to raise funds. This is 3 days ago. She was raising funds to have him cremated. Now, that's probably because of the expense of giving him a bodily burial. So, yeah, his body would have been evidence of what happened to him. So the fact that he hasn't had an autopsy yet and might not get an autopsy by the time he's cremated, it just sounds very, very convenient to me. Now, when it comes to the daughter, listen, man, the grief of losing a parent, my condolences to Danielle, because that's not an easy thing to deal with. So I'm praying that she's able to get everything done as quickly as possible, but I'm also praying that she is able to get that autopsy, not for the targeted community, but for her own peace of mind and for her own knowledge as to what happened to her father. So for her sake, I hope she's able to get an autopsy. I hope so, right? So Daniel Boden was absolutely outspoken when it came to the targeted weapons that was being fired on him. One second, I need to find something else on him, because there was more information on him. There was a picture of him in hospital, and apparently he was wounded so badly by the electronic weapons it left a hole in his body. But let me just see if there's any other information on him. Yeah, so as I'm looking at this post of Daniel Boden and his death, I'm reading into other information by other people who have commented on this post that is really, really interesting to me. The thing is, the word fibromyalgia was brought up. Let me have a look at this. There are other targeted individuals in here who are talking about the same thing. There's one targeted individual, a woman. She says, every day I get tortured with this crap. I'm so sorry about Daniel. I was friends with him and got blocked. I love this man. I saw what they did to him. R.I.P. Daniel, we loved you. And then another TI, probably a male, he said they were doing every shooting with our names and numbers in it to kill us, me and my family. The joke is that the government and their people were doing every single killing. Directly, the criminals in Massachusetts, together with the police and state, were going and shooting and killing people all over this country. Any jobs, any money The corrupt employees of the city of Boston use it to do the next killing. Another male TI says, how do you stop the microwave weapons? I go through this and I think I'm close to death. I almost collapsed yesterday from dizziness. I've had that too. If you check one of my videos when I was living in this, the supported flat that I lived in, not the supported flat. I don't know. It was a flat that I was living in London, right? The last flat that I lived in. When I spoke to Reed and tried to apply for a job with them, and I actually spoke very, very clearly about the microwave weapons, I was hit with an electronic weapon to actually cause dizziness for a few hours. This male targeted individual says, I get very bad pain in the head and chest. Yes, checks out. I've had that as well. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because this next TI has said 6 million Americans are diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And from the symptoms, it sounds very, very similar to targeted individuals. Now, I'm looking up fibromyalgia. It says it's a condition that causes widespread pain and extreme tiredness. Targeted individuals, because we're deprived of sleep and we've got pain all over our bodies that, symptoms of fibromyalgia vary from person to person. The main symptom is pain all over your body. That can easily be caused by electronic weapons. There's no cure for fibromyalgia, but treatments like painkillers, talking therapies, and exercise programs may help ease some of your symptoms. It's not clear what causes fibromyalgia. It can start after a stressful event like an injury, illness, or the death of a loved one, or electronic weapons can be fired on you after an injury, illness, or the death of a loved one in order to cover up what the fuck's going on. Now, I'm not a medical expert, but you mean to tell me you've got a diagnosis for a disease and you don't even know where it comes from? You don't even know where it comes from. It's thought to be related to abnormal levels of certain chemicals in the brain and changes in the... That's bollocks. That is absolute bollocks. Certain chemicals in the brain changes. Even if that were true, that can still be synthesized by electronic weaponry. The condition typically develops between the ages of 30 and 50, but can occur in people at any age. So you ain't got, like, changes in the nervous system is all you have. That's all you have. No, you have to be hurt in specific parts of the body in order to activate the pain. I know, because I've been hit in certain places that caused hip and back pain and, my fucking uterus, like all at the same time. If you're hit in certain pressure points in your body, if acupressure is used, you can easily use that to cause as much pain as possible to the person. There was one TI that I knew, I've blocked her now. There was one TI that was hit right here at the base of the neck, and I think I talked about this before. They were hit at the base of the neck or the base of the head, and that literally caused them to hemorrhage more blood than usual. The bleeding got so bad at one point, she was on the bus and literally, it became like The Shining. She was literally gushing blood and she had to be kicked off the fucking bus that she was on at the time. And it's not even that she even had to be kicked off. Like, the bus driver had no sympathy, no class, no decency, didn't get her an ambulance or nothing, just tried to kick her off the bus. So fibromyalgia, the plot thickens. I gave somebody a hard time for coming on my page and saying everybody was being targeted. But think about it. You got 6 million people with fibromyalgia, with a fucking mysterious disease that nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows what causes this fucking... I have never heard such bollocks in my life. And again, I'm not a medical expert, but like, I've been having pains in my kidneys and organs and all over my body. Do I have fibromyalgia? No. I've been tortured. So I don't know who this person is, who this TI is, but they've stumbled upon something big. They don't even realize. So I've got to find out more about Daniel. Stefan Keith Howard posted another post about him yesterday. And yes, he was a targeted individual. There is another TI, another targeted individual. Helen Csorba, Csorba. Helen Csorba died at about the same time as Daniel Boden did. There's another male targeted individual. He says he's hit daily, multiple times. His hospital visit, Daniel's hospital visit, was dated March the 2nd, 2019. And I've got to find out more information about Daniel. I've got to find out more about him. Yeah, he'd been in hospital a lot up to that point. Yeah. There are a lot of so Daniel Boden, I'm sorry to show you guys this. I think Daniel was pretty outspoken about his suffering, so I feel like I can be comfortable to post this here. Now, if his family is not comfortable with this, they can easily just reach out to me. I'm on Fabian Deacon YouTube. TI Fabian is my handle for this particular video. But I'm going to show you guys something now. Trigger warning, this might be very traumatizing to look at. So let me just... So this is Daniel here. Daniel Boden, R.I.P, with a directed energy hole in his stomach. So that was April 30th, 2020. So this man was hit so badly by electronic weaponry, it left him with a hole in his stomach, apparently. Now, hospitals can usually open a person up and operate on a human being, so it could have been that. But I feel like if it wasn't the case that there'd been a hole in his stomach due to the electronic weapons, I think Daniel would have told Stefan. So I believe that this is a hole in his stomach. It might not have been, might have been the hospital that opened him up and put that there in order to help his kidneys or something, help his stomach area or something. But I do believe that there's a hole in there, because it depends how vehement the people firing the weapons are at firing weapons at these people. So yeah, I believe this is a hole in his stomach. That poor soul. April 30th, 2020. So in his last couple of years, he was hospitalized quite a bit. This was him in February 26, 2020. And this was, let's see about Daniel. This is Elvira Williams, another targeted individual. She wrote an affidavit to Obama, Holder, and Romero. Obama, when Obama was president at the time. And this is Daniel Boden in a Somerset County Hospital. And this was dated March the 2nd, 2019. So last few years of his life, quite a few hospital visits. This is another targeted individual. Now, this is somebody I was friends with. David Scott Baker. He was... David Scott Baker was amazing. He really was. He was such a... He was funny. Like, I have a really mischievous sense of humor, and I used to... he used to just give each other so much shit. Oh, he was amazing, though. But, David had been targeted since he was 10 years old. I think he was abused by a member of the church at about 10 or 11 years old, and that's what kicked off his targeting. I haven't met him. I hadn't met him before he died, but from what I understand, and from what he himself said before he died, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. I did say that these weapons cause strokes, heart attacks, cancer, organ failure. He's not even the only TI to die from terminal cancer. There was another targeted individual called Billy. I wish I could remember her surname. But I believe Billy hailed from Texas. She was a friend of Karen Probst, who was another targeted friend of mine in America. Shout out to you, Karen. But yeah, Daniel Boden. So let me see if I can find any more information on him. I can't find anything else on Daniel for the time being. But I do know that in the last 3 days, Danielle Marie Boden, who's this little girl, she managed to raise the money for his cremation. I think I mentioned that before. She's actually managed to raise the money. It didn't take long for her to raise the money, and I'm glad for her. She tried to raise the money on the 7th of June. It is now the 10th. And the donations have already gone over $3,000. So congratulations to her. And apparently that money will be used to help the local community in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. You forget, you forget. In all the pettiness going on with the psychological torture, because I think the psychological torture is designed to make you forget about people being tortured and killed. It's designed to make you forget exactly how serious everything is. We talk about what colors people are wearing, what NLP techniques they're using, what slurs they're using against us, how they're defaming our characters. And whilst you realize that the defamation of character is being used to cover up our murders, it still feels trivial when you realize how much pain and death is actually happening to so many. You've got this fibromyalgia diagnosis. Are you fucking kidding me? You got satellite towers and cell towers used to pinpoint the locations of multiple people at one time for this torture. And these people want to talk about fibromyalgia? The fucking nerve, bro. The nerve. I just wanted to do this live quickly before I went back to get some rest because this cold kept me up all night. So I just wanted to just get some rest after this. But all the sleep deprivation, all the electronic weaponry attacks, they're all geared up towards murder and torture. So as much as it might hurt the perp's feelings, I'm sorry, but your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. And your actions are leading to the deaths of millions of people, at least. And the pain and the torture. And on top of that, the lies. The lies. But I forget. I forget it's not all about me sometimes. I forget. Lisa T.I., my mind is on her so many times. My mind is constantly on that woman and everything that she went through. Even in death, she wasn't allowed dignity. Because, you know, God forbid. So many gone. Suicide as well. It's not a fucking joke. And the fact that people treat it like it is, it really speaks to their fucking character. It really, really does. When you think about the torture these people go through, what we all go through, you think about the deaths that have occurred as a result of this, it just makes all the jokes, all the so-called debunking, it just makes it all the more disgusting. And when all is said and done, you start to run out of sympathy with those who don't believe you. You start to run out of sympathy with those who want to not believe what's going on. You start to run out of sympathy with those people. You want to be killed by your own government, good. Ain't nobody helping you. Fuck you. He tried to tell you. He tried to tell you that people... No, you know what? Let me not. Let me not. That's why when I make my videos for those already in it. I know that perps watch my videos and yeah, I'll address them. But when it comes to videos like this, these are for TIs. These are for people who are understanding of how reality is. I'm not trying to appeal to people who are fucking all the way knee deep in their fucking, like neck deep in their fucking delusion. I'm not appealing to those people. I don't appeal to such people. I appeal to people who know the truth and know what's going on. And that's with the death threats. And, I mean, day in the life. But I am truly sorry about Daniel Boden, and I'm sorry for his daughter. I really am. I really am. And the reason why I said that she's his little girl is because you know how dads are. You know how dads are. I'm sure no matter how old this woman is, she was always his little girl in his eyes. Anyway. Yeah. So, rest in peace to Daniel Boden and Helen Csorba. And I hope David Scott Baker is resting in peace as well, though he won't get any peace until these people until he gets justice. Until all these people get justice, there won't be any peace. Not for them, but also not for the people who murdered them. Not a moment's peace. I love you, my fellow TIs, with all my heart and soul. Please believe that. I love you so much. And I want you to know that you are strong and you are blessed. And all this pain is you're going through, it's not a test of your strength. It's a reaffirmation of it. You are strong people. Never forget that. Do not stop fighting. Do not stop speaking out. Keep fighting. Keep speaking out. I love you.